So this training is about the Azure Developer Associate Certification Exam AZ204. And here I'm your coach. My name is Shailen Chauhan. I'm Microsoft MVP, Technical Consultant Corporate Trainer. I'm having more than 12 years of experience. So let's start with the agenda of this today session is. So today you're going to learn about what is cloud computing, what is Microsoft Azure platform, what are the cloud deployment models we have, what is the Microsoft Azure platform history, public cloud adoption, Microsoft Azure advantages, Azure services and global infrastructure we talk about here, and Azure resource group and the tags. And finally, I will show you the way, what are the various Azure certification are available, which you can go through. So first thing is there, what is the cloud computing? So cloud computing is a way to deliver the computing as a service rather than in a product. So cloud computing provides us on-demand hardware, like we having the server, we having the hosting environment, where we can deploy our application. If you need the physical devices to testing your mobile application or for building your project, so you don't need to purchase them. Everything is available on the subscription model. So cloud computing ultimately removing the need to purchase your own hardware, to purchase your own personal devices. So cloud computing is just providing you the compute resources on rent basis. So rent basis is the same way, you just having a subscription model. If you're using it for, let's say, 1 month, 2 months, so only for 1 month, 2 months need to pay. You don't need to pay for entire year, and you don't need to pay the entire cost. So these various things are available on the subscription model. You can have the database, you can have the app server, you can have a desktop, a virtual machine where we can, which I can use for building my .NET application, Java application, let's say any other type of application. I can have the access to tablet and mobile for testing my mobile application. So if let's say you build a mobile app for your website, now that mobile app you are willing to test in the different devices. So instead of purchasing those different devices, we can purchase using the Azure portal. So what are the cloud computing offering? Cloud computing offering us mainly three things: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And to understand this one, we having a pretty much simple things here. Let's say for taking the example of on-prem environment. So in the on-prem environment, you're responsible for managing the various things. So what various things you are managing in the on-prem environment? You are managing the networking, storage, server, virtualization, operating system, middleware, runtime, data, and application. So these various things you are responsible to manage in your own data center or in your on-prem environment. But if when it is coming to the cloud, in the cloud, we having the first option is here IaaS. IaaS is also known as customer managed. So here the few things would be managed by the cloud vendor. So here as a cloud vendor, we are using the Microsoft Azure. So Microsoft will manage the things for us. An example of IaaS services are virtual machine and storage. So these are the example of IaaS services. So here you can decide which operating system, like which virtual machine you are willing to create, Linux or Windows, or what middleware you are willing to install over there. That also be decided by you. So middleware can be here your runtime, let's say .NET runtime you having the other middleware which are helping you to run the things over there, like you having the Docker and anything. So those are the part of the middleware. You can decide runtime here, .NET, Java, PHP. Data, let's say you can have over there SQL Server database, MySQL, or any other, and your application, but the code you wrote over there. So these things would be managed by you, and other thing will be managed by the Microsoft. So here it is a very good way to have the control on all the things in our hand. So you're responsible for managing the complete virtual machine. The second option we having here, PaaS, platform as a service. And the platform as a service, you have to just do focus on your application and managing the application data. Others things will taken care by the platform. So here maximum thing are managed by the platform. Even you are not responsible for managing the runtime, middleware, and operating system. These things also managed by the platform. So this is PaaS offering, platform as a service. And as a developer, as a solution architect, as a administrator, you would be responsible to manage only IaaS services and only PaaS services. So as a developer, we only manage these two types of services, IaaS on PaaS. The third offering we have been here, that is not actually we manage, that is only for the consumer. So as a consumer, you can use here the SaaS services. Even what are the product you are building, that product might working as a consumer to your customer. If let's say you're working on an application which you're building for your client, so that client further will sell to his customer. So that for customer perspective, the application you're building will work as a SaaS. So as a developer, you will not use the SaaS when it is coming to the development, but when it is coming to as a consumer, so you might be using various SaaS services. The common example we have in here, Office 365 application, or you can have the G Suite account for sending the email. So if I take an example of Office 365, so here everything is managed by the Microsoft. Microsoft build the application, Microsoft manage the data, Microsoft manage the runtime, everything here managed by the Microsoft for Office 365 application. So as a developer, you will manage here app PaaS services, like we have been the app services, we have been like Microsoft Azure SQL. So these things are, you might be managing the virtual machine. To understand this one, we can take the example of let's say you are willing to bake the pizza at home. So if you will try here, you need to manage these things like say cheese, topping, tomato sauce, pizza dough, fire, oven, electricity, gas, soda, and dining table. So everything you have to manage yourself. But if you're looking at the list of the gradient, the list of things to make the pizza at home is not an easy task. Even everything is not easy to make at home. So what normally we do, we purchase few things from the market. So what thing you can purchase from the market, like cheese, topping, tomato sauce, and pizza dough, we can purchase from the market. But other things we can manage. So fire, oven, electricity, gas, soda, dining table. This is the way we can bake and eat the pizza at home. It is just similar to the example we have in the IaaS, infrastructure as a service. The next one we having here, second option, if you're not willing to bake the pizza at home, then you can order it online. So Domino's and the Pizza Hut will deliver the pizza at home. So baking part is now taken care by the Pizza Hut or Domino's. Even other thing also taken care by the Pizza Hut and Domino's. You just using your dining table and cold drink and soda, whatever you like, for eating the pizza. So this is a pizza delivered at home. Another example is here, don't do anything. Just go out to the Domino's and the Pizza Hut if it is open in your area, and there the Domino's and Pizza Hut provide you the everything, dining table, cold drink. You have to just sit over there and eat the pizza. So this is the example of SaaS offering. So when it is coming the cloud deployment model, so cloud actually are here three types. We having the public cloud, we having the private cloud, and we having the hybrid cloud. So when it is coming to the practice, like what are the cloud we use commonly? We use mainly public cloud. And what are the application you're looking at? Like the application which you're accessing from the internet, they are hosted mainly on the public cloud. So if you're taking the example of .netx.com, if you're taking the example of various other websites which are accessing over the internet, so they are hosted on the public cloud. Even if I take the example of Flipkart, they're using the Azure. If I taking the example of another company, so maximum of them are using the Azure. Private cloud is exclusive for an organization, and this is only required whenever your data is more, means data security is more concerned. It is especially for a specific domain like banking domain, legal domain. We having over there are we having the data of an government. In that case only we need the private cloud. So private cloud is just a, let's say Microsoft given its own data center to manage to the SBI, to manage by the the ICICI Bank. So it will be just like the intranet. So there would be also the cloud that is run by the Microsoft, but the data center will be exclusive only for the ICICI Bank. Nobody can access the data center from the internet from the Microsoft Azure portal. That is a private one. When it is coming to the hybrid, so hybrid is a combination of public plus private equal to hybrid. Or whenever you are combining more than one clouds together, it will become the hybrid. Because nowadays what is happening, the companies are not only using one hybrid in a one application, they might be using more than one cloud into one application. Let's say few services you have hosted on AWS, few services you have hosted on Microsoft Azure, and few services might be running in your on-prem environment on a private cloud. So, and if you're looking at the Microsoft Azure platform history, so this is the way how the Microsoft Azure has been announced. In 2008, it has been announced, and initial name was Windows Azure. And Microsoft Azure available commercially from February 2010. And in the same year, they improved the development and IT professional experience for managing the Azure services. In 2012, they introduced the virtual machine for Windows and the Linux. And in 2014, they rebrand the platform as Microsoft Azure. Because somehow Windows is a sense it is only for Windows developer like Windows machine. We cannot use the Linux over there. So that's why they rebrand to the Microsoft Azure. Then constantly from 2014, they updating the platform, they adding the so many things. So Microsoft having the more than 200 services offering, and constantly they are working on the improvement. That's a continuous improvement. So this way. Okay, if you're looking for the open source support, you can see what the various software Microsoft Azure support here. It's not only limited to the .NET. If it is coming to the infrastructure, so infrastructure we can host for the Linux, Ubuntu, Red Hat, we having the source, Oracle Linux, FreeBSD, Docker, and for the database and middleware, we having the Hadoop, Redis Cache, ClearDB, Cloudera, MySQL, MongoDB, we having the Service Fabric, Couchbase. These are tools supported PHP, Node.js, Python, Java, Ruby on Rails, IntelliJ IDEA, Eclipse. Application also you can see management side, Ansible, Chef, Puppet, NegOS. Terraform is available in client for mobile. We having Android, iOS, Xamarin, Cordova. For DevOps, it's in NegOS, Jenkins, Grunt. Gradle support is there. So you can see various things are available over there. It's not only to the .NET developer, it's for all the developers over there and supporting the various tools. If you're looking for the cloud adoption rate, so Microsoft Azure is increasing every year. And now if you will see here, you can see the AWS no doubt is still is #1 cloud platform, but on the #2 place we having the Microsoft Azure. On the third place we having the GCP, and the fourth place we having the Oracle infrastructure cloud now. Then we having the VMware, IBM public cloud, Alibaba. So IBM is also doing the good thing because they now acquired the Red Hat. After acquiring the Red Hat, the so many opportunity now opened by the IBM. So these are the things here. So if you're looking for Microsoft Azure Global Infrastructure, so this is the Microsoft Azure Global Infrastructure. It is available in more than 140 plus countries and 60 plus region worldwide. So you can see in India, it is available in South India, that is in Chennai, Central India, that is in Pune, West India, that is in Mumbai. Apart from these three places in India, they having in US, they having in Brazil, they having in South Africa, they having in Japan, they having in China, they having in Europe, they're having in UK, they're having in Australia. Everywhere you will find out what are the main country we having. It is available. So around we having the 200 plus countries. Out of the 200 plus countries, it is available in 140 plus countries. So I just said to get started with, make sure you have configured your Visual Studio along with Azure Development. So whether you're using 2017, 2019, even 2022 also has been released in the preview. So use here the Azure Development. My session is here, go ahead with 2019 because there you having the more set of features. And if you're looking for the Azure certification, so an Azure certification based upon the role, they having the certification exam. So mainly there are three types of role. We have developer, administrator, and solution architect. And if you're looking for the expertise level, we having the fundamentals, associate, and expert. So these are the three categories where certification has been divided. So if you're looking for the fundamental certification, we having the AZ 900. That is the free of course certification we are providing to you. That is an optional certification, but I feel it is a very important to understand the cloud basics and the Azure fundamental. So you can go ahead with the certification exam as well. All the material is available at .netx.com. You can refer it at free of cost. For the certification exam, you have to register with Microsoft and give the certification exam. Then we having here Azure Developer Associate. This is the exam. We having even the same training you are learning right now. Then we having here Azure Administrator, that is AZ104 certification exam, that is specially designed for the administrator. So if you are a system admin and you're willing to know what are the things you should know as the administrator in the cloud, so for that purpose, this certificate has been designed. For the solution architect, we having the two certification exam, AZ303 and 304, that is on the expert level. So we having here Azure Solution Architect exam. And to give these exam, you can give directly. Like for Azure Fundamental, there is no prerequisite. Just go ahead, register it, give it. Similarly for developer as well, similarly for administrator as well, similarly for solution architect as well. But if you're willing to be a DevOps engineer, so before the DevOps engineer, make sure you have passed either this certification exam or either this certification exam. So you have to pass one of the exam before appearing for the Azure DevOps engineer.